I think KKR is sticking to and to some extent rigidly sticking to their age old template, and they are not moving at a pace that is needed for today's cricket. You have to be adaptive, you have to be flexible, you have to be open to new combinations, new strategies, new tactics. They are not doing that. They are not clear about what brand of cricket they want to play, and therefore they don't know what are the roles they want to have in their team, and therefore which are the players who can play those roles well. And we have discussed this multiple times. The opening combination, when you have a proven opening pair in Seifert and Allen, you are not trying out that. And what's the advantage and benefit of trying out that opening combination? We discussed multiple times, but again to just repeat, even if say one of these two batters get out early, you have the another player on field, and he can play that destructive role. So you have a backup destructive batter who can carry forward what the other batter could not. And then at three, you can have another player who can continue that tempo, continue that pace. Again, nothing against Rahane, and I know you will have a lot to say about KKR and their strategies, but nothing against Rahane. But you have to see whether the kind of cricket that you want to play, suppose a destructive kind of a cricket you want to play, whether Rahane is fitting in that story, that narrative, that approach, or that role or not. That you have to see based on the performances he is having, based on the kind of approach that he is having. Suppose you want a player who can rotate strike and play that role, then you have many such players in your team. Why not then play Manish Pandey and make him the captain? You could have made Manish Pandey the captain and play the similar role. I think Manish Pandey is far better batter. If you talk about consistency and everything, I think he is far better T20 better than Ajinkya Rahane, because Manish Pandey is far better batsman against spin bowlers, and that we will discuss.
Absolutely.
But they're not playing him. If you are not playing Manish Pandey, why you are playing Ajinkya Rahane? Because he is your skipper, he is your captain. That now you are stuck with Ajinkya Rahane. Another batter is Raghuvanshi. You again don't know what to do with Raghuvanshi, because earlier there was a talk that Raghuvanshi could open your innings. So if you are the role that Rahane is playing, you could have used Raghuvanshi for that. He is your future. He could have become much better player than what he is right now. And I think he is much more innovative and much more capable right now than Rahane. Then your middle order, and then your finishing part. I'm not seeing any clear strategy in middle overs and in finishing, because you think about a team where your main finishers were there on field, but they could not finish the match for your team. That means there is a problem. That means there is a problem in capability. The opposition bowlers will obviously bowl the Yorkers, the cutters, the slowers, the slower bouncers, and everything. That's what you practice during your nets. You practice power hitting. You have a power coach. Then why can't you finish a match? If you say if there is a means downfall, if there is a say the whole batting lineup is crumbling, that's one problem. So you are getting all out for say 110. That's a different problem. But if you are there, if you are there on crease, you are there on field, still you are not able to finish the match. That's a big problem. I would rather say KKR's bowling is now looking a bit better, because
Better.
much better, because
Yeah, definitely.
they're bringing them into matches. I think they have brought them into matches in 2-3 games. the innings from Mukul was came from out of syllabus, and that was a brilliant innings. Now you look at Mukul. Mukul is not playing that kind of an innings. That's you can have such an innings once in a tournament. Okay, and that KKR was at the receiving end, and that's a unfortunate thing for KKR. That's fine, but their bowling is now looking much better. Even Barun will get into form. There are signs that Barun can now get into form. But KKR, as per me now have to do, they have to think about their batting lineup. They have to think about the roles in their batting lineup, and they have to think about the approach. You can't rotate strikes and then think that you can win matches. And another thing, you have to win matches in power play. If you are cautious during power play overs, then you are already out of the match. You can't come back to the match, because most of the teams have bowlers who will choke you in middle overs when you have do not have the field restriction. They will have fielders at important pockets of the field, and you will then rotate strikes, and that's not a solution to the problem you are having right now. You have to have better batting approach. You have to have more aggressive batting approach. If you think that the so-called power hitters that you have in your team, they are not able to hit those boundaries, then you think about a different approach. How can you then restrict your opposition to a score that you can chase? Then that's what you have to think about. But I think that's not possible in this year's IPL, because most of the teams are playing a different brand of cricket, and you can't restrict them to, except the LSG's innings. You can't see any of the teams facing a lot of problems in their batting, and they will obviously score 200, 210. You can't restrict them. So KKR now have to think about their batting combination, what changes they can make there. I think they have few players they now can try out, for not for this season but for the seasons to come, because you need at least few players that you are sure about that you will keep in next season and the seasons to come. So I think they should now work on that and try out few of their players, both domestic players and we have two more New Zealand batters and all-rounders. I think KKR should look at them rather than thinking about we have invested 25 crore in a player and we have to back that decision. If you are fixated at that, then you will not only be at the bottom of the table, but you will not have players identified for the next season and seasons to come. That's what I think.
Yeah, so exactly. So rather than playing by the squad, I think they are more inclined towards proving their decision behind going for 25 crores behind green. I think they are sticking to that decision, and yeah, they are very much like determined to prove themselves correct. So that's what exactly the problem is. Okay, so now let's consider how you are forming a batting order. Okay, let's discuss about the one of the best batting orders that we have this time today. We would have anyway come to RCB, but I am coming to RCB for the time being. Okay, so how RCB is designed for this time? The top three, they can utilize the power play best. Okay, Salt, Kohli, and Padikkal. Three of them, we can say that they can utilize the power play best. In the middle overs, they might go a little slow, but if we are just considering the entire, this is the first 6 overs where the field restrictions are on, then three of them can utilize it in a very very proper manner. So that's the best three combination you need who can utilize the power play. Number four, Rajat Patidar, brilliant player of spin. You need a player who will be not only be able to accelerate but also will be able to anchor. So anchor come accelerator in that number four who is the best player of spin in that entire batting lineup. Number four. Number five, six, seven, and eight. So if I'm considering 4-5-6, 4-5-6 will be your best players of spin. Okay. So in that 4-5-6, they are having Patidar, Jitesh, though Jitesh is not in his best form, but still, Patidar, Jitesh, Team David.
Team
All
David.
three of them, or maybe sometimes if Krunal Pandya comes, then he might also be the, in place of maybe Team David, maybe they will be trying Krunal Pandya. He is also a good player of spin.
Mm,
So three very good players of spin in the middle. Then in the finish, you have two players who can go all blazing guns against. In death overs, we generally have last 3 overs of pace bowling. In that entire session, they will go on all guns blazing. They are having Team David, Romario Shepherd, who are like we all know what kind of finishers they can be. They are actually finishers. Okay. Now, or maybe if you just look at the finishing abilities of Punjab, okay, or if you just compare the this entire batting lineup of Punjab's also, which is right now the champion team, right? Same. You can see the top three: Priyansh, Prabhsimran, Cooper Connolly, best players of power play. Four, Shreyas Iyer, best player of spin in that entire batting lineup, who can be anchor come accelerator against spin in the middle over. Nehal Vadera, very good player of spin. Number six, they have Shashank, very good player of spin. Finishing Shashank, Janssen, Stoinis. All three of them can be very equipped, well equipped finisher. This is how you are creating a team, right? No rocket science. Just look at
mm,
look at the way at what stages you face what type of bowlers. This is the only code that you have to crack. There is no rocket science, nothing.
mm.